It's game day, baby. Tom and Lamar on Thursday Night Football. Former Raven Eric Weddle here to break it all down. We are rating NFL golf swings with PGA Tour champ Jordan Spieth. And for those of you who place bets over at FanDuel Sportsbook, the under hit. That's right. It only took me 61 miles on my new car to get my very first ticket. Isn't she cute?
Lamar Jackson, touchdown!
Ready to throw.
Touchdown, Tampa Bay!
I'ma show him greatness.
Makes the adjustment and the catch.
The world's watching. I'ma show him greatness. Boom.
We got a goodie! I'm so excited for this. Eric Weddle will pop by to give us his thoughts. Matthew Hamilton's going to hit us with some hammer time, breaking this down X's and O's style. But let's get into what this game means. 4-3 Baltimore Ravens. They go into tonight's matchup against the Buccaneers looking to find a mirror, find something that they can look into and say, this is who we are. This is our identity. I don't know that it's been found so far this season. It's been disjointed to start the year in many regards. On one hand, Baltimore, you can look at them and say, man, you are a few plays away from being 7-0, blowing double-digit leads in all three of those losses. And then on the other, you can't sell me on the fact that this team has looked like itself lately. Lamar's sort of tapered off, cooled off for a moment after a hot start, and this team has not been able to win back-to-back games all season. And that, of course, allows that striped helmet. Did we move that striped helmet? There it is. That Bengals team to pull into a tie for the AFC North lead, meaning these are the way it works. The Ravens lose tonight, and the Bengals could pass them if they don't get the job done. So I'm looking for Lamar to step it up under the bright lights, like he needs to for his own contract, like he needs to for this team, like we've seen him do before. And the bright lights are where this team tends to shine. So curious to hear Eric Weddle's thoughts on that, of course. Jordan Spieth is on the show, so keep it here for that. We're going to have a lot of fun with him. And, I mean, there's literally nothing I know less about than golf. Like golf and road rules of the road in California. Like, which of the two do I know less about? I don't know, but we're going to get to it and have a lot of fun with him. And then you look at this matchup tonight, hours from now, and we'll have a recap for you tomorrow. The Bucs side of things, they're still clinging to the division lead, which has been, I mean, what a disaster in the NFC South. We have Mark Ingram on every week. We love him, and we're like, what can we talk to you about that's positive? Because it's a dumpster fire. And then McCaffrey leaves and all this is going on. But Carolina had this upset of Tampa Bay last week. And despite, losing 4 of their last 5, if you're seeing on the screen right now, I want to have hope. This is a Tom Brady-led offense. They do rank just 26th so far this season. And everything seems out of whack and out of sync. So why have they been struggling? Can it be fixed? These are the sort of questions I have, and that's where I bring in Hamilton to break it all down.
What's up, Kay? And I definitely think the Bucs can fix this thing. Are we just going to keep dancing? Is that what we're doing?
Hey, I'm a University of Dayton dad. Let me do my thing. I'll dance like a dad.
What's going on with the Dayton Dad sweatshirt, by the way?
I don't know. I sent it to you this morning and said, hey, I just found this in my closet. Is there any controversy going on at the University of Dayton? Can you vet that for me? And you said, what did you say?
There was a Kia stolen on campus at some point in the past week. But I think other than that,
it wasn't this dad. Hey, what's going wrong in Tampa?
Well, let's hit the film and let me break it down for you. A lot of it, as our old friend Brian Billick used to say, this game comes down a lot of the time to numbers and angles. And you'll see here the numbers in the box. The Bucs have 6 blockers against 6 Panthers defenders. Everything about that tells you run the football. You get a hat on a hat. But Brady's going to stick with the play call. Brady's always been usually good about that in his career, but he sticks with the play action pass here. You see the Panthers linebackers totally unaffected, not worried about the run game at all. And you'll see they have 3 defenders over 2 Bucs receivers up top. At the bottom of the screen, 2 defenders over 1 Bucs receiver. There's just going to be nowhere for Tom Brady to go with this football on 2nd and 10. He instead tries to dump it down to Fournette. That's not there either. So now you're in a 3rd and long, which no offense ever wants to be in. And even when they get in favorable 3rd down situations, this is a 3rd and 2, still down just 7-0. They're going to run these switch verticals with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, try to attack the Panthers down the field. But Carolina's bringing a blitz. You'll see they're playing soft on Evans and Godwin. That means usually here you want some type of a hot read, some type of route adjustment. The Bucs don't do it. They're still going to try to attack down the field. Brady's getting pressure in his face from that blitz. The routes haven't even declared themselves yet. So he's going to have to throw this ball kind of blindly, and you'll see the pressure's hitting home. There's a defender in his face. Brady actually throws a great ball here. Godwin gives it a tremendous effort to try to bring this thing in, but it's just not there, and they're making things more difficult on themselves than they have to be right now. And I look to offensive coordinator Byron Leftwich here, and I look to Tom Brady as well. We know he loves to make checks at the line of scrimmage, and that's usually what sets him apart from other quarterbacks. He's not doing it right now the way that he usually does.
What do you think is behind that? Because you and I mean, everyone's talked for years about Brady's ability, and his strength is taking what the defense gives him, and that's sort of what sets him apart from a lot of these other quarterbacks. So what we're seeing out there is very un-Brady-like. Great breakdown by you, and the numbers support what you're saying. The Bucs are 76% pass over this 5-game slump that they're in. And I keep saying, annoyingly, like, run the ball, run the ball. Is it that simple?
I think there are a number of factors here. I think they get frustrated in these games. They've fallen behind early in a few of them, and they're just trying to force it. They're pressing the issue where they really don't have to. I think they have to stay a little bit more patient. I think they have to take the run when it's there. When you get those light boxes like we saw Carolina give them on that first play, you absolutely have to run the ball. And I think it's also, taking what the defense gives you in the passing game as well, coming up with some shorter route combinations. I feel like it's almost a trap of having such great talent at wide receiver that they're just trying to rip off all these big plays, play after play. But we saw Godwin, when this offense was really rolling with Brady, Godwin's been that slot receiver, that guy to operate in the short to intermediate passing game and make plays there. So I think they have to get back to that, get back to the fundamentals that made this offense successful with Tom in years past.
How does that, what does that mean for tonight's game, going up against this Ravens defense?
Well, we know the Ravens love to be aggressive. They're going to bring a lot of pressure, and I think that Tom's going to have to get the ball out of his hands a little bit quicker. They have to get some of those shorter route concepts developed, because we also know the Ravens secondary has had some issues. So if you get some of those short completions, they can break big plays. And I do want to credit Carolina's defense too last week. They were phenomenal. I know you love them and all the young talent that they've acquired. So we saw that kind of come together. So credit to Carolina's defense, but there's obviously something broken there in Tampa. And hopefully tonight's the night for Buccaneers fans that they can get this thing turned around.
Quickly, do you think they can turn it around? Do you have faith?
I do. There's so much talent there still. I mean, when you have guys like Evans and Godwin, and Julio might even be back tonight, he's questionable. There's just so much to work with there that you got to think they can turn this thing around at some point. Tom just has to take a step back, breathe, not let the frustration set in, and take what's there.
It's crazy that we're saying that too and about Tom Brady. And we have Jordan Spieth coming up on the show, so he's has a relationship with Tom, or at least they've spent some time together. So curious his thoughts on him from just a man off the field, motivational situation or perspective. I asked you if you have faith in the Buccaneers. You do. Do you have faith in my driving skills?
None whatsoever.
If you're just tuning into the show for the first time, I can't drive on a golf course, and I can't drive with the driver, and I can't drive with anything. It's not good. So here's what happened yesterday. I got a ticket. I don't know, is there like a dress on this? I don't know. I don't know any of the information out there. But I got, I've had this car for 60 miles, 61 miles to be exact. And I somehow wind up with a ticket on my vehicle yesterday. And I'm going to read you what the infraction is, Hamilton. It is vehicle parked over into bike path safety hazard. Outside of my house in California. No signs, no anything. Don't put a picture up, but I sent you guys the picture of what this looks like. Can I give you a guess at what the actual amount is that I now owe the city of Los Angeles?
I'd say like $50.
$93.
What?
Ask me if I moved my car when I saw this. Nope, it's still sitting out there. So I might have a Whopper here. And I better come up with a hell of a parlay this week to be able to pay this thing off.
You're gonna have a boot on the car when you get back home. I saw that picture. It doesn't even look like there's a bike lane visible there.
I think California hates
do you have a driveway?
I don't know. I don't know anything. All right, Hammer, you're the best. Hammer time, incredible breakdown on Tom Brady and company. Up next, hello to PGA Tour champion Jordan Spieth. Hey! Joining us next, we'll talk a little Cowboys, a little Texas. It'll be great. Is that a Dan Bailey jersey? I love that. That is incredible. That Eric Decker, too, Mr. 87. I know who that guy is on the right because he's joining us right now. A 13-time winner on the PGA Tour, a Dan Bailey superfan, apparently, a 3-time major champ, and just helped the United States win the President's Cup. Take that, world. Born and raised in Texas, a Texas Longhorn and Dallas Cowboys fan, and FanDuel family. Jordan Spieth, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are y'all?
I'm great. I love this, the Dan Bailey love. You don't see that every day. I was into that.
Yeah, that was years ago. Obviously, back when he was on the Cowboys and making a lot of clutch kicks for us. But yeah, it was fun to do a coin flip out there in an NFL game. I didn't even have to do anything, and it was nerve-wracking.
Yeah, that sounds terrifying. But let's talk about you, Jordan. Let's talk about this President's Cup. 5-0 last month, just the 4th American to ever do that. Congratulations. How are you feeling right now?
Yeah, good. It was fun. I mean, for us in golf, you know, it's an individual sport. To get to represent your country once a year in those team events is really an honor. And you know, I just went out and had a lot of fun. I had a great partner in Justin Thomas, and then we just tried to feed off each other, feed off the crowds, and like I said, it's kind of a once-a-year thing for us, and it was a blast.
I feel like you're about to set the world on fire. Do you think I'm right? I just have this feeling.
I feel good. You know,
Yeah.
I've been working on some stuff pretty hard, and at this point now, I just need some rounds. So once we get started in the new year, I'll be playing a lot from January to August, and would love to get in a nice rhythm as we head into the major season.
I've never watched golf live. I'm going to have to track you down and see you at one of these things because we're FanDuel family now. We're like brother and sister. I need to go check that out and get into it. But you are, you know, one of the best golfers in the world. And as that guy, you've played with a lot of athletes from different sports. Who have you played with or watched play that sort of surprised you and maybe thought was better than expected?
Well, I think there's 2 guys I've played with that are the 2 best athletes from other sports, Tony Romo and Steph Curry, but I think that's probably pretty well known. A lot of the pitchers, starting pitchers, they play golf all the time and they're really good. They're a lot better than position players in baseball, but football guys, Tony's really the only guy I've played with that's a really good player. And so it just kind of depends. It really depends on how often they play, right? I mean, it's just a sport where you just have to get reps in, just like anything else.
I just thought Tony thought he is good, and everybody says it, but maybe that he wasn't as good.
Yeah.
But he's legit.
No, he thinks he's good too, and he is good. But he certainly knows it as well.
I love that. You're from Texas. We talk a lot of Cowboys on the show, of course. That's your team of record. And Dak made his return last week. He was back. He led Dallas to a win over the Lions. What did you think of his performance and about your Cowboys this year?
Well, I think the defense has really stepped up. It's been incredible to watch. Micah Parsons is just unbelievable, possibly an MVP candidate, even on the defensive side of the ball. So, wow. I mean, with that kind of defense, you know, it gives the Cowboys some time to maybe make a couple mistakes here or there. Dak be hurt for some weeks and be able to still get some wins. So ideally the offense kicks it into gear. We had a lot of short fields, and we're not used to that as Cowboy fans, so it's pretty exciting.
Be honest, were you a Cooper Rush guy when he was out there winning?
Of course, whoever's leading our team, I'm high on. Cooper Clutch, right? He did an unbelievable job. It's great to know that he's there if we need him, and obviously everybody in Cowboy Nation is rooting for Dak to come play at an extremely high level and lead us to try and. I mean, honestly, the NFC East. This is the first year the NFC East has been talked about as one of the better divisions in football. You know, with the Giants and the Eagles undefeated, the Giants obviously at 5 or 6-1 now, and I don't think many were expecting that. So you got to try and win the division first and foremost.
It's so true. Those Eagles undefeated. You got those Giants at 6-1 with their new head coach. So it's spicy in the NFC East, which I like to see. And I think Dak can rise to the occasion and get it done. Now, you're also a huge Texas fan, former Longhorn quarterback Sam Ehlinger. A name me and Darius Butler, former Colts great, we're like Ehlinger. We want to treat him respectfully for the rest of the season because Matt Ryan, an MVP. See ya. Ehlinger, you're the guy. What do we need to know? Give me the scouting report on him and what he meant to that Texas squad.
Well, he was your Iron Man. I mean, he was the guy who was putting his head down and kind of almost a Josh Allen of college football, where it's like, you probably shouldn't have done that as the quarterback. Maybe slide instead of dive head first, but he dive head first, and he gives it his all. Actually ran into him at the Texas OU game. And so it's pretty exciting to see that now he's back in the starting lineup there. And, I mean, he's just, like I said, he's just going to be the guy that's going to go out and leave everything on the field, and that's what you want to see in your leader. I love that. Now, it's no secret, another guy, you didn't mention when you said the two athletes, you said Steph Curry and Tony Romo. You left out Tom Brady. I imagine you've played golf with him, though, right? I have played with Tom. He's a good player, too. He's kind of starting to play a lot more. I haven't played with him in a few years, though. Okay, but he's not one of the best, which makes me happy that he's bad at it, or not as great at something as anyone. That just makes me sort of happy that he's actually potentially a human and not an alien. No, I actually played Augusta National with him, and it came down to the last hole, and I happened to make a birdie, and I don't think he talked to me for like an hour after that. He's the most competitive human being I've ever met, and obviously that's gotten him to the level that he's at, but that's kind of a story I can always take with me. It was one of the cooler golf stories I've ever had. What do the two of you talk about there when he's not pissed at you for beating his ass? It was interesting because, with the Tom Brady method and how he kind of kicked into that kind of gear when he was my age and taking a full-blown look at his training and recovery, what he puts in his body, kind of his whole routine. And he was kind of telling me, hey, I wish I did this when I was 23 or 4. I started it when I was 28 or 9, and it's led me to be able to, feel as good as I feel at 40 or whatever. And I've kind of taken a little bit of that since playing with him, here and there. I would say I don't quite dive as in as he does because I don't necessarily have to in golf versus football, but I do. It is really interesting how dedicated to his craft he is at being, the best he can get out of himself. And that makes him happy, right? You want to do what makes you happy. And for me, I take pride and I'm happy when I'm at the best of what I love to do as well. So a lot of good stuff, a lot of great conversations hanging with just him and those other guys I've mentioned. Yeah. How do you think he ends his career? Well, I think this year's an interesting one right now, isn't it? They got a lot of guys injured and he's backs against the wall. I think it doesn't really his legacy's pretty set in stone, isn't it? I mean, I know anything other than a Super Bowl win seems like failure to him, which is pretty incredible if that's what you're measuring yourself against. But I'm not sure that's possible this year, just given kind of where they're at. But, we've seen crazier things happen, and if anybody can turn a team around and put it on their back, it's going to be him or Rodgers. Yeah. And they both got a tough road ahead for this season, but I don't think his legacy is impacted whatsoever by this year. It was set 5 years ago, wasn't it? And he just keeps adding to it. 100%. But I think, as a fan of him, I would like to see him walk away on top. Look, I hate seeing, I grew up in Chicago, loved Michael Jordan. I don't like the Wizards saga. I erased that from my memory, and it didn't affect his legacy at all. But I do want to see him. I want it to end how he wants it to end, So if this isn't the year, but I really want to see him back next year. He takes care of his body and all of that. But at a certain point, he's obviously got to work on his golf game, Jordan. So he needs to focus on priorities. How often does somebody ever really go out on top? It's just so challenging. You almost wanted to see it with Serena this year, but then. It didn't quite happen there at the U.S. Open, and then maybe she'll be back now. But it's just unless you're going to retire in your prime, which no one wants to see, it's so hard to. It's just Tiger's really probably the closest that I can think about in recent memory and he's still trying to come back and play. But from what he did in winning the Masters in 19 with that full comeback, it He's probably the closest of the GOATs that have been able to retire on top.
Well, you're so young, and I've talked to Aaron Rodgers about this. Aaron Rodgers being younger than Brady, but also, he really looked at how all those guys' careers ended. Brett Favre, of course. I mean, I can't believe I even just said his name. But you look at what he's seen from Tom Brady and how to end your career. And Aaron Rodgers talks about it a lot. Even at your age, when you're so much in it, you're at the top of your game, you're making it happen. Do you think about how you would want it to end, or do you think about that part of your career?
I would say, golf's interesting, right? Because you have the opportunity to even play competitively till you're in your mid-50s.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still so far away that I don't really. But at the same time, you start to think about how you want to kind of schedule, what your schedule is going to look like 10 years from now, I guess. And so that's not really fully like retirement as much. And again, you had Tiger win the Masters at 40, whatever. Phil won the PGA at 50 or 51. So that's the pinnacle of our sport, is the major championships, and guys are able to win them in their 40s and 50s. And to be honest, I think that there's more opportunity going forward with the better technology, more athletes playing golf. I just think the game's getting younger, which means it'll be more and more competitive. Even when I'm 45, 50 years old, it means that I could still have weeks where I feel I'm at my prime more often than I think guys in the past did. So I just think, as long just continuing to love the game is what's going to be sustainable for me. That's what's going to, continuing to find love in it, playing a lot. If I'm still loving the grind at 45, 50, who's to say that you can't still play some of your best golf? That's what's beautiful about our sport.
It's a beautiful mindset, and I note to my nephews and future children to put them in golf lessons early. Playing at 50 sounds great. Okay, we talked about Tom Brady, so we have you here, and you are a huge sports fan outside of the golf world, but let's merge the two together and rate NFL swings. We're going to start here. Jordan Spieth on the show, and we'll start with Tom Brady. So this is, what do you make of this?
He's got really good action. The guy is just technically sound in just about everything he does. It's really good. He's, I'd give it a A-.
An A-. Okay, an A- for Tom Brady. We move on to, this is a New York Jets wide receiver. He's a rookie. It's Garrett Wilson. Have you seen this? This is Top Golf.
I haven't seen this yet, I don't like the start.
Oh,
that's a lot of arm speed. I think it was so much like upper body strength that he just couldn't possibly hold on.
Have you ever lost a club?
I've thrown a club, but purposely, not on accident.
Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
Tell me.
That's dangerous.
Oh yeah, that is dangerous unless you're doing it on purpose. He's a liability. All right, reckless rookie wide receiver for the Jets. All right, let's move on to Longhorn legend Matthew McConaughey. Rate this swing.
Oh, it was smooth. The takeaway was really. You can't expect anything else from Matthew McConaughey. Look at that shot.
I've never seen
him swing before.
You've never played with him?
No, I've never seen him swing before. That was incredibly smooth going back. He got a little kind of out of sync, but clearly matched it up. That's a B.
How about that follow through?
That was the thing. It kind of got a little I could see how he kind of wanted to hit it so hard that he outsped himself there a little bit. But that's a solid golf swing.
Okay, how about?
I wouldn't call him a professional athlete though, but.
I love it. All right, you're being too nice, I think. Let's go to our FanDuel buddy, Pat McAfee. Big Pat McAfee show here on Up and Adams. First of all, are you okay with shorts?
Oh yeah. I wear shorts every day at home. That was good action. The thing is I don't recognize him with any sleeves on.
Yeah.
That's what's different. And I also don't want to go at Pat because he's got about as much ammo as anybody, and I don't want him coming back at me.
Don't be scared of Pat. What?
I can't compete with Pat in that regard. That's his job. This is good too. I think punters should have good golf swings. They have no excuse not to have good golf swings. They work on their lower body. This is solid. This is
You're being too nice. You can't be afraid of him.
That's an A- too. You're showing me good ones.
He wrote not great. Look at this. Is from his Instagram story. He wrote not great. He's asking for you to rate his swing.
The ball might have gone in the water, but I think the swing can produce some good shots.
Yeah. I like it. It's
Actually, that
better
looks
than
like he's
anything I
looking
could
left, like he made it.
do. We can't play rate that you're suing without another FanDuel family member, Charles Barkley, because I hear word on the street. Is this the old one?
No.
So this is the old one, right? This is the old swing.
Oh, no.
We've all, this is an F, right?
Oh, yeah. I think it's gotten better.
Yes.
Here's another guy that you do not want to get on his wrong side because he would destroy me if he wanted to.
You're very measured, like you're very intelligent in that way.
That's,
okay, but here's the new one.
Obviously, that's an F.
That's the new one.
It's still not good, but it's still not good, but it's better.
Hold on, I want to see that again.
That is unbelievably over the top.
How is it different?
So steep. Well, he doesn't stop on the way down. That's the nice part. There's no hitch on the way down. It at least swings fluidly, which means he can hit it more than 10 yards. But his swing is not pretty. But as an athlete, he'll still find a way to get it in the hole.
You gave him an F on the new swing. It's the best thing I've ever heard. Okay, and last but not least, we have, potentially your future Cowboys coach, Sean Payton. What do you make of his golf swing?
Yeah, he's so serious over it. Oh, look at this. We're slowing it down. Just peak male performance right there. That is, it's so good.
He's wearing his 11s out there. It makes me laugh so much. Of course, he's wearing his Jordans.
Yeah. Did you see last night? It's 2 nights ago. The Mavs were at the Pelicans game. He caught an errant pass in the top row.
He's a top male specimen athlete, according to you. A+ golf swing.
That is male peak performance.
He told me that you were in the Saints, or he was very excited you were coming on the show, and I'm sure he's watching or he'll see this clip. And he told me how you were in the Saints draft room, I think in 2017, with your caddy, and your caddy was running sprints, or they timed him in the 100. What happened?
That's right. Yeah, he pulled a hammy about halfway back, but he was doing 100 yards and then 100 yards back, and we were timing him. But what's more interesting about that story is that we were in the draft room, and he told us Patrick Mahomes is the steal of this draft, and then Andy Reid moved up, and they took him. The Chiefs traded up to take Mahomes, and then the rest is history there.
The rest is history there.
He called it ahead of time, though. He called it ahead of time. He goes, there's only a couple guys who may know that this is the steal of the draft, and sure enough, it was pretty cool. What a cool experience to be in a war room there.
What is he like in there? Just a maniac? I can't imagine.
Well, no, he's, they got however many scouts and the GM, and obviously he's very involved, but no, he wasn't a maniac in there by any means, but it was just cool. They took Lattimore, I think, in that first pick, and obviously he's been a really good player as well. So. And
Drew Brees was there, right?
Drew Brees was there. He had
Which
a couple
is
of his
crazy.
Purdue teammates with him. Yeah. There was, Drew was there, and he was like, well, I don't know. We may end up drafting Patrick Mahomes here if it gets to it. We got to tell Drew, that. And I don't think it would have been a whole lot different. Mahomes is going to be one of the greatest regardless, but we might not have known that for another year or two if he was behind Drew.
Yeah, Sean Payton's always hanging out at Gaza Ranch. He's always talking up his mean golf game out there, Bouge Magouge over there. But question, where would you put him in the NFL as a coach?
I think he's up close to the top of the list. I think he's a great coach.
No,
I will
where
say
would
my
you
brother
put
did
him?
tell me that.
Where would you put him? Pick a city.
Oh, well, you put me in a tough spot here. Obviously, I'd love to see him as a Cowboys coach, as a Cowboys if we're rolling, we're rolling. But, I think he's lived here in Dallas. I don't even know if he still does, but, I'd love him. I'd love to see him on the Cowboys, but I'd love to see him with any Hall of Fame caliber quarterback just because of what he can do offensively.
Jordan Spieth says Sean Payton to Dallas. I can see it now. I'm kidding. You're amazing. Jordan, thank you so much for stopping by the show. I know you're so busy and your schedule's about to get crazy, so good luck with everything. I have a good feeling about this. Go kill it.
All right. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jordan Spieth on the program. He is a FanDuel partner, so he is here. He just talked crazy about Charles Barkley, who's also a FanDuel partner, and so is Eric Weddle. Hey, I wanted to show him your golf swing.
Hey, let's do it.
We're gearing up for another huge week of college football, and you can get in on the action and win part of a $20,000 prize pool as part of Twisted Tea's college football picks contest. And it's free to enter. You'll make 6 picks and earn points for each correct pick. Sign up today at FanDuel.com.
Turning it up, hey, we're fighting the time. It's never enough. I ain't need that with a shine. I'm all in my zone. I'm all in control. I'm whipping the sauce. No matter the cost, I'm bringing it home. Turning it up, turn 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 up, turning it up.
No stranger to greatness, no stranger to avocado toast sandwiches, no stranger to this show. One of the best safeties to ever do it, and the perfect person to talk about this matchup tonight to kick off Week 8, Eric Weddle.
What's going on? Man, you sure know how to make an old guy feel good. I appreciate that.
You're not an old guy. You're a dedicated. Look, I'm a dad too. I got you. I'm slicing the grapes too.
Love it.
Big game tonight. Tom Brady, Lamar Jackson. So let's get into it, and let's start with the Bucs side. You never played with Tom Brady. You played against him. So let's start there. Doesn't quite look right. They've lost 2 straight. What needs to happen tonight for this offense?
Well, man, it seems like there's a number of factors and just some disconnect on some level within that team. Now, I don't know if it's the change of coaching. I don't know if it's within the players and coaches. I don't know if it's players to players, but there's obviously something going on where they're not connecting on the field. And it's just case in point, the first series of the game last week where Tom throws a beautiful ball to Mike Evans, and he just doesn't reel it in for an easy touchdown to give them the lead. And that sways the game when you're not playing well as a team. You need those momentum-type plays to get you going as a team, and they're just not making those types of plays. So it'll be interesting to see how they do tonight. It's not a favorable matchup against the Ravens, and it's going to be tough. What
do the Ravens have, or what can they do to sort of make sure that they don't start clicking and building momentum? Because Tom Brady can do that in a second. I mean, they're not running the ball at all on Tampa side, at all.
Yeah, I mean, you got to keep them one-dimensional, and that's outside of Week 1 with the Bucs. They haven't been able to run the ball at all, and we're not not saying that Tom can't carry the team and throw the ball all around the field. But they don't have all their weapons out there. The pass pro has been stagnant, to say the least, and he's getting hit a lot, getting sacked a bunch. So on the Ravens side, they just got to limit those big plays and shut down the running game and give different disguises, different movements, different blitz pressures. I think they match up well with the Bucs, and if they get them the second and third long situations, I don't foresee how the Bucs can beat them if they're playing that type of game.
Who do you have winning this one?
Oh, Ravens, of course. Not just because I love the Ravens, but I think the Ravens are playing better football defensively over the last few weeks, and to get that win last week to come up big after the fumble by Hill late in that game. You almost thought it was Groundhog Day for them in the fourth quarter, letting another one slip away, but they found a way to win. And honestly, offensively, I know people are going to say the struggles a little bit the last couple of weeks with the passing game. At the end of the day, it's about winning and losing. And if they need to run the ball and Lamar needs to carry the ball 15, 20 times a game, then that's what it's going to take. Then let's do it. No one needs to apologize for winning this league. So I think the quarterback play is better for the Ravens. I think defensively, the Ravens are playing better, and I don't know. I just don't know. The Bucs aren't the same Bucs the last couple of years, and until otherwise, you can't really pick them in a game like this.
It's so true, and I mean, Lamar, to me, I'm just, do not blow a fourth quarter lead. My heart can't take it. I don't want to deal with it.
Seriously.
I want you to get paid. Figure it out. Tom Brady will prey on you like a lion and a wounded, like wildebeest out there if you start tripping in the fourth quarter. Don't do it. Make it happen.
I was front row and center last year in the playoffs to come back 28 threes or 28.
He's got
like,
that in him.
Oh gosh, what are we doing?
No, it's terrifying. So I hope they work it out, and I hope they have the mentality, and I'm sure they do in that locker room because of Harbaugh. Like, they're a couple plays away from being undefeated, not blowing 3 fourth quarter leads. Like, look at it that way, and you can see like what your future might hold as a Ravens fan. All right, you are the grittiest man I know.
Gritless.
So let's hit it. Gritless. Last week's.
Still got our top three: B-Wags, the Chubb, stiff arm, juke, go through 7 guys for a touchdown, and then the Derwin James body slam. So let's look at the new. Listen, you know why I put this on here?
Why?
Because they specifically Tua put up this front like, hey man, if I get out on the perimeter, if I have to extend plays, I'm gonna throw the ball away, I'm gonna slide. And you know what? He said, bump that. The game is on the line. My team needs me. I need to get every yard in the first quarter, mind you. This is grit to a T. I love this play. I love his demeanor. I love his all-in for a quarterback. This inspires his teammates.
Ow.
Let's go Tua.
Let's go.
Second play right here. We got the sticks. the line. I wouldn't say line judge, but the guy, the sticks judge. He's been
the chain crew member.
Yeah, he's been manning that spot for probably 70,000 years, and the guy just takes a shot right to the chin. What does he do? He gets back up. He doesn't wane. He gets back up and does his job.
Gritty.
I mean, talk about grit. I mean, seriously.
Oh, I love him. That's amazing. What's this?
And we got a great play. I mean, Mika Fitzpatrick, one of the best in the entire league. He goes through this is called like a fault combination. They got a shallow with an angle route behind it, and Mika just goes through that first window and then flashes the second window, puts his shoulder right underneath his chin, displaces the ball. This is teach tape technique. Dislodge the ball and grit to a T. So
all right.
Well done.
Drum roll, please. This is the new list.
We got a new comer to the list. Tua scramble and tries to truck a defender. With everything that's gone on the last couple of weeks, I'm so happy he's out on the field playing the way he plays, but also leaving it all out there. We understand what this game is.
Yeah.
And to go for those extra yards with all that he's gone through is just inspiring as an old guy, and I would love to play with him and to try to win games for him.
Are you having some sort of existential I'm an old guy crisis? That's what I'm picking up here. What's going on with you?
Well, I am an old guy compared to the young bucks playing in the league. So, I mean, I haven't hit my prime in the real world, but when we're talking football, I am an old guy. So it's all good. I'm not prideful one bit. It is what it is.
That's the second time you said buck in this segment, and I definitely thought you said the other word, and I was like, oh.
No,
my reaction was like,
last time I said that word. So
really?
I know that wouldn't be the case.
Well, if you're gritty like Weddle, and nothing's grittier than that, let us know if you see something this week to sort of. I need that protester off the list. Can something bump that off tonight, please, Ravens?
It's just. We may have to relive that experience that Wagner gave to everybody to remind people why that is so gritty to me.
You teed off on it. You loved it. Eric Weddle, you're the absolute best. We will talk to you next week. Good luck making chocolate banana sandwiches. Nutella all the way. We'll talk to you in a bit. We've got Jamaal Williams on the show. Oh, man. Love him. Big NFC North love. And he's not what you think. I think when a lot of people hear the name Jamaal Williams, running back, former running back, of course, with Aaron Jones, having a lot of fun there in Green Bay, and then now with the Lions, emotional, passionate, always dancing, always fun. And it's always one of my favorite things to interview and sit down with players and get to show you a different side of them when they reveal themselves in a different way. And I had just had the best conversation with him. And yes, we talked about roller skating, we talked about anime, and we laughed and had a lot of fun. But I do think you'll see a bit of a different side that will endear you even more to the, what did we call him? The introverted empath king.
Hi.
Hello there.
Wait, how have you been, though? Talk to me.
I'm cool. Just been chilling, honestly. Just living life, doing the best I can.
How are you feeling about the season?
I'm feeling optimistic. We working so hard to get to, just becoming a great team. So we just got to keep pushing. We right there, and we know we there. So
who do you vibe with there? Because I know who your best friend was in that Green Bay Packers locker room. But who's your buddy?
Honestly, it's like a mixture of everybody. I feel like my boy Leaf is so funny. Nate and Bruce, we be playing Smash Brothers together. We got a ping pong table. I would say Tim Boyle's the best. And honestly, Craig and DeAndre, they be going against each other. but they honestly gotten better. So
Dan Campbell. Is Dan Campbell playing ping pong with y'all?
Nah, he ain't playing ping pong. He trying to get us ready for the game. My boy, he got a lot on his plate. I know he cares too much about us getting things on the right track for us to be, not focused. So.
Well, we saw on Hard Knocks, like you and him have a special relationship. So what's in the sauce there?
What's in the sauce? For me, is just, how can I put it? People think I'm a social person. I'm really not social. So it's real. Like, I don't connect with everybody, the same. If I can vibe with you is see if you're 100% authentic, if you're yourself. And DC has never faltered. He always stood tall, kept his head high, and always been a great example of showing what a great man can do, being a positive person, trying to bring people and uplift people when there's adversity.
Now, you were with the Packers for a long time, 4 years there. This is your second year with the Lions. What's the biggest difference between playing for those two teams?
The biggest difference, I think, is just really just team chemistry and just trying to get everybody on the same page, as in being able to just trust each other a little bit more. And I feel like we really have all of it, but it's more of just we have to just do it in the game.
What is it like when you face Aaron Jones now?
Honestly, I think we just be going out there just to compete now. But this is a fun compete though, Now we can get after each other. See, I'm gonna score more than you, or I'm gonna get 100 or something. You know what I mean? But I just like it just because it's a positive type of competition that's just gonna make us both better. And I just love seeing my brother do good, just because it always inspires me. Like, he's an inspiration, And I just be learning from just people who I know have experienced a lot. Man, you came out like this. You came out so positive. Like, all this stuff made you this positive person. That's what inspires me too. So.
There's this idea about you that you are always having fun, that you are always on one, that you're really, really social. You're telling me that's a false premise. That's not true.
I'm social in certain parts, as most of the time I talk to my friends from back home on my Xbox, you know what I mean? And sometimes I'm not even playing the game. It's just mostly just to be able to talk to them. But yeah, I'm not a, if I could stay inside, I'd stay inside if I could. Stay inside.
Are you an introvert, Jamaal?
Yeah, I don't. The only if I go out, I do things that I can do by myself. Like, I can go skating, I can go to the golf range, you know what I mean? Little quiet things to do.
What kind of skate? Like skateboard?
Roller skate.
You roller skate around where?
Well, back home at at BYU, I used to go to the classes skating. I kept myself occupied by going skating every weekend, and I was good, honestly. I was going the weekends, but now I go when I'm back home in the off season. I go 3 times a week.
What does that do for you? I've never heard this about you. What does that do for you? What's this?
It's because I just put my headphones in, and I feel like it's just another way of soothing, relaxing. It's a peaceful vibe. I just like to do things that just calm me, because I already got a lot of stress in my life already. I got a lot of things that's already on my mind that I deal with on a daily basis. So, you always got to find things to help your mental health. I just want to make sure that I'm just making myself proud and not to have that regret of I'm not doing everything I can to be the best me.
I think you're going to blow people's minds on this, because I think everyone looks at you and they see the highlights of you dancing, having a great time, being a really good ass teammate to everyone I've ever talked to.
I just be having fun and just be in my zone. That's just how I be happy. I be looking at people all the way up the top, and they don't be thinking I be looking at them, and I see somebody with a 30 jersey on, and I just point up there, And the only reason they know is me because they know I be dancing already. But I see them and I can point at them, hit them they hit me with a heart sign. I hit them one back, and it just be, it's just like a good connection, just feeling good.
Jamaal Williams, can he take it to the house? Yes, he can. Touchdown, Lions.
What attracts you to anime so much? I don't know what you're wearing. You're clearly wearing, I hope that's not wrong, an anime sweatshirt. So I know very little about it. Do you have your own character? My producers were ask him if he's the sand demon. Tell me what I need to know.
Okay, well, all right. Well, this right here, this is from a show called Demon Slayer. Her name is Nezuko. So, yeah. So if you ever want to watch anime, I feel like you will like Demon Slayer.
Okay.
You'll like Demon Slayer.
Why?
I feel like you like the action.
That's true.
When you're ready, I just need you to watch one anime. But when you're ready, after you watch one, and then you be like, Jamaal, do you have any more recommendations? I would already have them ready because I feel like you like all the suspenseful ones. I like mostly the villains because they be having a lot of resolve and they be having real reasons on why they be villains. That's why. And if I was in the anime, I'd be a villain just because it looks fun.
And what would I be? What would I be if I was in anime?
You most definitely be the hero because you look like you be trying to save everybody and taking the heat for everybody.
I want to be the villain.
You can't be the villain right now.
Yes, I can. What? I'm gonna watch one. There's a romance storyline. I didn't even know that was a thing. Is it just entertainment for you, or does it actually inspire you in a way?
Oh, it's inspiration. Naruto is one of the most nicest, genuine people in the show, and he basically inspires a whole bunch of people they started off as villains and then ended up being heroes.
Yeah,
and ended up fighting for him and stuff like that.
I don't like that you're saying all these things about the villains being so compelling character arcs. I can't be the villain.
No, not yet.
The villain this week is the Dolphins. What are you focused on this game?
I focus on getting busy. That's all. I just want to be more explosive than I've ever been. So, and I just gotta think it. I just gotta believe in myself and be the Kazakage I know I am. I can't wait.
What is this? What are you talking about?
Look, you get me excited already. I got a couple of days before this game. You already got me thinking of it. Oh, Lord.
Everybody thinks you're just like this zany NFL player, and you are so thoughtful, Jamaal. You have so much going on. You listen to everyone. You're inspired by so many different things, and I just think this was a really special conversation. So thank you. And I just want to be the villain. Don't try to don't put me in a woman box. I want the.
You already got the jacket on for it. You look like a greaser.
Greaser. I look chic. I don't know what you're talking about.
You look like you're supposed to be snapping. With jazz hands.
Oh, please.
You know how the Super Saiyan charge up?
No.
So you never looked in the mirror and go, ah! You never yelled?
No.
Oh my God. You never watched Dragon Ball Z?
I've heard of it's like this. It's like the Street Fighter. No?
I'm about to die.
Why? Remember Ryu and Ken went Hadouken, and then it would shoot.
Well, first of all,
Dragon Ball is?
It's not the same.
Tell me what to do. I go in my mirror.
So in the morning, you know how you gotta get yourself motivated?
Yes.
Okay, this is what I know. My neighbors hate me, but this is what I do. I literally wake up and I go in the mirror, and I just yell like I'm powering up the Super Saiyan 4 for at least like 10 seconds.
Like, show me. Can you show? I'll do it with you, but you gotta. How loud?
Like, you gotta get in like ah. You gotta yell, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That felt good. Jamaal, I love you. Good luck again.
Exactly.
Bye.
I love him. Jamaal Williams, you saw both sides of him. He's a wonderful player. We're wishing him plenty of luck in his career. Marissa McBride killed it on the edit of that one. And big thanks to Brian. We killed it on Jordan Spieth. What a fun show. We'll be back tomorrow.